people are here. Admit, admit, admit. Hey guys, I'm just admitting everybody. Welcome, welcome. How you guys doing?
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey, there's some old friends.
so fun.
Did I just see Christine Treadway?
Yes.
Yes.
Where the
Hi.
heck is she?
I'm trying to get my camera to
What are you
I
doing?
clicked on it, but it's not showing up.
And Heather
I am
Parker.
so glad you guys are all here.
Oh my gosh.
Heather?
This is so exciting.
Oh, Heather, I didn't realize you were there. I had a window that was covering you up. How are you? All right, let's just see. We're using just our personal meeting room, and so we.
Good, Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl, there's another one. Okay, so
It'll take a minute.
I have to admit, everybody, what we're going to do is starting next week, we will we'll set up a recurring, link that we can use, and that way we won't have to do this admit business. But for now, we just wanted to get this up quickly, and so we use that. Okay, Lisa, you tell me if anybody pops in here that I miss. Okay. So we're here to talk about social media. And Lisa had a call with a few people, Monday?
Was it Monday? Yes.
Monday. And so I said, hey, I'd be willing to jump on and do a call and talk about this because it's something Lisa and I have been talking about for a couple of months and to do ourselves. And we just kind of put it off. But we just I won't speak for you, but I have just felt this pull that we need to do this. Personally, we need to start marketing more through social media more effectively.
And because the magic we saw that happened with the van business, and that we knew that this could affect every consultant in a very like customers coming to you. And that's what the great thing about this is that you won't have to go out and do the parties and do the expos. People will come to you and want what you have. So
yeah. So just to kind of start out, I want to say there are several people in this company that are much better at YouTube than I am, and they're awesome and they're willing to share. But what I wanted to do, and we called this a masterclass, and the reason it's a masterclass is not because we're the masters and we're going to teach. It's we all want to master this together, and so we want this to be a collaborative effort. Lisa and I are going to share what we've learned in the last few years doing YouTube ourselves, being very unsuccessful at it, trying for a long time, giving up, and then trying again and having success with it. And so just to share, for those of you that don't know our background story, there's some of you that haven't talked to you for a while, so maybe you don't know what's been going on. But during COVID, I finally talked Lisa into buying a Mercedes Sprinter van and converting it into a camper van. I documented that on YouTube, and during the time that I was doing the YouTube videos, I decided to sign up for a course, and it was about $1,000 course to learn how to do YouTube. And prior to that, we had a YouTube channel. Holly sent me a link to her YouTube channel. She has a YouTube channel. Some of you might have a YouTube channel. We had been doing YouTube.
Jenny has one. She told me she has one.
We had been doing YouTube for, I think, about 4 or 5 years, off and on, mostly doing Cooking with Thrive. And after about 5 years, we had about 400 subscribers. I think most of those were consultants who were just curious to see what we were doing. And so I'm admitting Kathy. So I felt like, 5 years, 400 subscribers, my videos would get 50 to 100 views. And so I signed up for this program, this course, and I started going through it and learning how to do YouTube a lot better. And in the next 4 months, I went from 400 subscribers to 5,000 subscribers. And the course that I took, they would always say this one thing. They would say, you're one video away from becoming an influencer. And it was one video that I did. I probably did in that van, building that van, probably 30 different videos. One video, and it was comparing two toilets that people commonly use in a van. That video got about 35,000 views in 3 days.
Because
And
you know why I think it went viral is because, like me, I was like, we have to have a toilet that doesn't smell. We cannot be in a van that with a stinky toilet. Now, men don't care, but
Mhm.
women, we really care about the stinky toilet. Well, anyway, it was just this big comparison, and it was pretty funny that
Yeah.
that's our top
That's our
viewing
top one.
video. Like I said on my call to you guys, like people go back and rewatch these
Mhm.
things and come in for the very first time. And anyway,
Yeah.
you just get a lot of hits.
Yeah,
and
that
it never
video,
goes away.
that video now is over 100,000 views. And so what I guess what I'm saying is it's a slow start. YouTube does take a while. And at first, it doesn't matter how bad you are because nobody's going to see your video, your first few that you post anyway. So don't worry about that. But as you start doing it and as you build, you're going to start to get better and your things are starting to click and people are going to start to relate to you. And all of a sudden, like I said, all it takes is one video. Bill Keller told me that one video kind of launched their YouTube career, and it was about, I can't remember the
Being
temperature, but
rich.
it was like being it was like negative 18 degrees in a tiny home, something like that. I don't remember exactly the temperature, but something to that effect. And it got like 150,000 views very quickly. Now it's into the millions, but that launched his channel. And so it's, all I can say is it's worth it. And if you stick to it and are dedicated, then
Consistent.
you can really have a lot of success, and it can be very successful for your Thrive business. Now, tonight, what I want to do is just kind of go over an overview, kind of set the stage, get you thinking about some things, and then we want to start doing these weekly and kind of work together. I want to create a Facebook group that we can all collaborate in. We can bounce ideas off of people, all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be, like I said, a master class where we all become masters together. Now, if you decide this isn't for you, that's fine too. This isn't for everybody. Actually, I think anybody can do this, but no pressure. You don't have to do it. But here's the thing I love about this. One is you can grow your Thrive Life business without doing parties and expos. Now, I know most of us on this call learned to do those things and got really good at it. But when you first started out, were you really excited? I don't see Sherry on here, but was Sherry really excited about doing home parties? I don't think so. A lot of us weren't very excited about going out and doing home parties, but you got good at it. You learned to do it. You learned to do expos. Heather was awesome at doing expos, build a great business, mostly through expos, right, Heather? But times have changed. It's a lot harder to have success in those same ways that we did it, 10, 12 years ago.
And quite honestly, the digital era is here. We all shop on Amazon. It's kind of like the malls are dying and Amazon's got their business, right? And so it's kind of like you got to get in touch with that digital social media that is going to be beneficial toward your business.
Yeah. Another thing is, so in the Lisa and I, so one thing I've really struggled with is I created this, our channel started as a Thrive channel. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to I've got 400 subscribers. Who cares? I'm going to start doing van stuff. And I built up this van following. And a couple of years ago, I really wanted to start reintroducing Thrive into that channel. How can I market Thrive with that channel? And I've really struggled with that because I don't want to drive people away. They came here for van building or van life, and now I'm selling them freeze-dried food. But we just started slowly trickling it and sprinkling it. We do a tour of a new van that we built, and we pull out of the drawer some Thrive cans and say, this is something we really love. for travel in a van. If you're interested, there's a link in the description below. And then about 6 months ago, I had the idea, you know, on YouTube, you're always watching YouTube videos and commercials pop up, right? I decided, what if I did my own commercial? And so we put together a little 30-second clip of Thrive, a Thrive commercial that I just edited in the video software, and we dropped that into our van video. So they're watching the van video, and then boom, 30 seconds of, hey, Thrive food, and then back to the van thing.
And some of these guys saw that.
Yeah,
that
and
video.
and in the last 6 or 8 months, we've been able to about double our personal sales, and most of that is through YouTube. And we haven't done any parties, any expos, anything besides the YouTube stuff. And so it does work, and it's a great way to market. So you can really increase your personal sales. Now, I will say there are some YouTubers in this company that are doing tens and even six-figure personal sales a month off of YouTube. And so the potential is huge. If you thought, could I hit platinum, or could I get a $100,000 leg? You could do that yourself through YouTube. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be in a few months, but over a year or 2 or 3, you could build up your personal sales to where you're hitting that higher level of commission. What is it? 12 and 14%, I think, if you get up there, right?
15% over 100,000.
Yeah. So I
So
mean,
just like right there are people over 100,000 personal sales. That's a $15,000 paycheck right there from Thrive.
just for your personal sales.
Plus YouTube is paying them too.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Now, here's another thing. You can create additional streams of income besides your Thrive income, like Holly just mentioned. So through YouTube, we've been able to create about 4 or 5 additional streams of income. And none of them are huge, but I call it lunch money, but it's actually a lot more than lunch money now. But it kind of started out, hey, I can earn I don't make a lot on my YouTube videos. That they call it Google AdSense, where Google pays you for running your ads for views. And I make anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a month just from people viewing my videos. Then I make, I have affiliate links. So things that I talk about, I put links in the description. And if someone clicks on that and goes to Amazon and buys it, I get a 3 to 4% commission. Now, that doesn't seem like very much, but Lisa, I know, shared this with a few people. But let's say you're doing cooking and you find this, you have this spatula or a frying pan you just love, and you say, hey, this is my favorite frying pan. It's awesome. If you'd like to check it out, there's a link in the description below. They click on the link, they go to Amazon. Let's say they don't even buy that frying pan, but they decide to do their Christmas shopping and they spend $1,000 on YouTube. You just made commission on everything they bought, or on Amazon. Yeah. You will make commission on everything they buy for the next 24 hours on Amazon, just because you sent them there, even if they didn't buy it off of your link. So that's another way you can make money. You can also become an affiliate with a lot of companies, a lot of products that we use in the van business. We'll just shoot off an email and just say, hey, we really like your product. We'd love to talk about it on our YouTube channel. Do you have an affiliate program? They send back, yeah, sure. Here it is. We just had one. You were just filling out paperwork for one today, right?
Yeah.
So as you get going, there are other ways that you can make money. Now, here's a really one that I came up with about 2 months ago. That is my favorite one of all. And that's digital downloads. So I had people on our YouTube channel asking all the time, what is the order of the van build? What sequence should I do? What should I do first? And everything. So I spent about 3 or 4 hours putting together a spreadsheet, step by step of what order you should do your van build. And I put it up on our website for $27. And I think so far I've had like 200 or 300 people download that spreadsheet. They just click download the spreadsheet. Boom, I make $27.
And we could do that with,
you could do it with recipes.
Couldn't we? Like we could, like, how much do you store for a family of 4? Mm-hmm. Like things like that. If you're talking about freeze dry.
Yeah, you can just make up documents.
Downloads that it was funny because I'm like, nobody's buying. I'm like the negative Nelly over here. Nobody's buying that. Nobody's. Oh my gosh! Within 1 month, guess how much you made?
Like $1,200, $1,500 in the first month. Yeah.
I'm so shocked. I'm like, that many people want to know the sequence of events to build a van.
Yeah. So
I'm shocked.
so you can create these digital downloads. And this is all stuff that as we go through this over the next weeks and months, I'll show you exactly how to do these kinds of things. And you can do them for it doesn't matter what your YouTube channel is about. You can do these kind of things. So there's lots of different ways you can make money in addition to your Thrive business. Okay. So that's now Lisa mentioned this, but this is the reason I absolutely love YouTube is because so YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world besides Google. So if you Google something, but Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the #2 search engine. And also it's the #2 social media platform. Any idea what the #1 platform is? Anybody?
TikTok.
No,
Instagram?
no.
Hmm.
The old standby. What is
Facebook?
Facebook? So Facebook is #1 with about 3 billion
Really?
users. Facebook has about 3 billion users. YouTube has about 2.5 billion users. But here's the thing. How many of you have tried to market your Thrive business on Facebook? And how's that gone? Not very good for us. Maybe you've done better. Does Facebook pay you for posting things on their platform? No. In fact, if you want your ads to be seen by or your content to be seen by anybody, you got to pay to boost it or run ads or things like that. Well, on YouTube, you get to market your products and then they pay you to market your products. So it's like amazing that you can get paid to market your products. And I believe it is the #1 marketing platform. I mean, real estate agents, loan officers, I mean, just everybody's using it now to market their business. And we've gone from where a couple of years ago we were spending $1,000 a month on our Thrive business in paid advertising, and we were spending $1,000 in our van business on advertising. And now we've dropped all that. So we're doing no advertising at all, and we have way more business than we did 2 years ago. And we're getting paid to do the advertising rather than paying them to put our ads up. So it really is a great marketing platform. Another thing is your videos, like Lisa said this, you put a video up, it lives on there forever. If you post something on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, how long is it relevant? How long do people see it? It's like that day, and then it's pushed down and they don't see it again. But with YouTube, I was just looking tonight, and my top 5 videos in the last 30 days, 2 or 3 of those I did a couple of years ago. So I did videos a couple of years ago, and they're still getting like hundreds of views per day. And so if you're talking about a product, or it doesn't even have to be directly about a product, it could just be a link in the description in your video, they could click on that and purchase on a video that you did a couple of years ago. Another thing about it is you create this loyal fan base, this loyal follower base.
I called it a cult following.
It is.
You have a cult following.
Here's another thing that I do is I do consulting calls. So on YouTube, I just have a link, say, hey, if you want to do a consulting call with me, it's $75 for 30 minutes. And they click on it. They pay by credit card, and it puts it into my calendar, and I do a consulting card. So that's another way you can make money, is you could do consulting calls to teach people how to get prepared, or, things like that. And so, where was I going with that? I tell you, my iPad here that I have my notes in, the screen closes about every 10 seconds. So I'm constantly having to click it. But, what I was going to say is, when I talk to people on the phone, they'll say like, oh, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity. I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. And when people come in, we have some people that are coming into our van shop tomorrow, interested in having us build their van. And we talked to them on a Zoom call, and same thing. Oh, we feel like we already know you guys. And that's something that you can develop. And most of the customers that come to us say, I've watched like 50 of your videos. I feel like I know you guys so well. I trust you. I feel like, you know, I already can trust you. And they're handing over a couple $100,000 on one of our vans. You know, they're paying that up front for us to build it, and they're not going to have the van for 6 months. And yet, because of that relationship that they built with us on Facebook, I mean, on YouTube, they feel comfortable most of the time. I mean, obviously there's still people that are a little skeptical, but most of the people are like, yeah, I feel like I already know you. I feel like I trust you. Yeah, I definitely want you guys to build my van.
And the last couple people that have come into the shop have said, Jeff, I want to talk to you about building us a van. And Lisa, could you get me some of that Thrive food that you mentioned? And I'll have the samples there waiting with my information on the back, and I tell them all about it. So again, people are coming to us instead of you having to kind of go chase your customers. So it actually starts to snowball where you're like, we can't take this many customers, but wouldn't that be a great thing for Thrive? Like, you can handle it because they're just going to your website and buying, going to your website and buying.
Yep. So anybody know what is the number one reason people go to YouTube? Why would people search for something on YouTube? Any ideas?
How to do something?
Exactly. How to do something, to learn how to do something, to learn about a product, to research brands. There was a quote or a statement I found: 94% of people said they watch explainer videos to learn about products. They watch videos that explain products. 94% of people on YouTube. So, I mean, why do people go to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok? It's to totally just to just kill time and be entertained, right? And, you know, there's other reasons, keep up with friends and all that kind of stuff. But what we have is exactly what YouTube is built for, is to help people. And I heard a podcast a couple of months ago, and it was with the president of YouTube. And he was saying that they are focused on making YouTube easier for creators, somebody that is they don't, on YouTube, they really don't call them so much influence. They're called a YouTube creator. Their focus is to make YouTube easier for creators to sell their products on. And that's one of their main goals. In fact, they're in the process of creating stores within the Amazon YouTube, so you don't even have to leave YouTube. You can shop right within YouTube. And so the future is, I think, only brighter for marketing products. So let's talk a little bit about different formats. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. So what I set up tonight is kind of our podcast setup. You can see Lisa and I, we both have the little microphones here. And I wanted to show you that this is one way that you could do YouTube, is you could do where you just sit and you just talk. If you're going to do it's called a video podcast. If you're going to do a video podcast, I would encourage you to do it with somebody else, because it's hard to carry it with one person. If you look at most successful podcasters, not all, but most, they either have guests on every time or they have a co-host and they're talking back and forth. But this is one format you can do, is just sitting and talking about topics. Another one is how-to videos, like we talked about. It could be how to cook, how to find deals. I'm going to go into this more, but and Bill Keller says this all the time, your YouTube channel should not be just about Thrive. It should not be a Thrive Life Cooking with Thrive YouTube channel. That was my mistake. Our very first, when we started our channel, now it's been probably 8 or 9 years ago, it was a How to Cook with Thrive channel. And I had 400 subscribers after 5 years. Okay, that's not the way to go. We're going to talk about how to decide what your niche or your topic is going to be. But it could be how to do something. It could be how to, I don't know what.
I don't know.
How to eat healthy. You know,
there you go.
It should be, I think it should be something where it's easy to sprinkle Thrive in, and Thrive is a great way to do that thing that you're talking about, but it shouldn't be the only thing. So Lisa's and mine is going to be about how to eat healthy and be prepared. So be prepared with healthy food. And so we haven't fleshed out all the details, but it could be a how-to, okay? It could be a vlog. If you think about, like, if you've ever watched Bill Keller's videos, I would say he's more of the vlogging. Whatever it is he's doing, he's just got his camera and he's talking about it. Okay. So it could be a vlogging. Now, vlogs are not as popular as they were. They were big 5, 6, 7 years ago. They're not as big now as they were, but that's another format that you could do, is you just take your phone around with you and you just talk about whatever it is
Well, I
you're
think that
doing.
was their concern, that they don't want to do that. all the
Yeah,
time.
and I that's not the way I would do it. I'm just saying this is one
Yeah.
way you could do it if you wanted.
Jeff goes in early on Friday mornings or something and shoots his video and he's done.
Yeah,
Like, that's it.
yeah, an hour or so on Friday morning,
And
and
my
I
advantage
do
tour, I
it.
go in with you, and yeah,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
you don't have to carry a camera around
Yep.
and tape your whole life.
So whatever it is, whatever format you choose, here's the thing: it should be edutaining. Okay, you know what that is?
Edutaining.
Edutaining. Because people go to YouTube to be educated, but they also want to be entertained. Now, everybody on this call has unique things unique about them. They're interesting. We're all different. And one thing that happens, especially with YouTube, but really with whatever we do, is we get what's called imposter syndrome, where we think, oh, there's already somebody else doing that. I can't do it as good. Why would they watch me? There's somebody out there doing exactly the same thing and they have 3 million followers. Why would they watch me? I'm telling you, they will watch you. Certain people will connect with you that won't connect with that person that has 3 million subscribers. I was listening to a podcast, and there was a lady, and she's 60, close to 70 years old, and she cooks, and her videos are unedited. She just sets the camera up and she just cooks and talks, and she has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I watched it and it's like, that is the most boring thing ever. But the people that watch her love her. And so it really, don't think, oh, people aren't going to want to watch me. You've just got to start doing it, and you're going to find your tribe. When I started growing our YouTube channel, our van YouTube channel, there's this other guy, and he had about 100,000 subscribers at the time. His name's George. He's in New Jersey. And I thought, I want to be like George. I want to have a following like him. He's a really very skilled craftsman when it comes to van building. And so my goal a couple of years ago was to become more like George, do my videos more like George, explain things like him, come up with creative ideas for van building like him. I can't tell you now, 2 years later, how many people say to me,
You remind me of George.
you remind me of George, or the only
Seriously.
two van builders I trust and follow are you and George. And so like I've achieved my Georgeness. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't think that people aren't going to watch you. Okay. You guys, a lot of you probably know Jera Wilson. She started a YouTube channel. I don't know exactly, maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
It has exploded. It's called Wicked Prepared.
Yep.
Wicked Prepared, and which is a really unique name because she's from New England, Maine, I think.
Yeah.
And the Salem witches that were up in New England. And so it's Wicked Prepared, kind of a play on her region that she lives in. But let me tell you, her YouTube channel exploded way faster than me. Okay, I'm now 3 years into it, 4 years into it, and I'm at just almost 20,000 subscribers. I think last time I looked, she had 60 or 70,000 subscribers. Now, a lot of that is the niche. My van niche is kind of small. I'm not ever going to have. I'm hoping to eventually get to 100,000, but I'm never going to have millions of subscribers. But Jera is already at 60 or 70,000. She is doing, I'm not going to say how much in personal sales, but it's big. She's doing a lot in personal sales, something all of us would love to have, either doing ourselves or somebody on our team doing, right? And so we were at the regional event last month or 2 months ago here at the corporate office, and Jera and Rob came to that event, and they sat down at a table, and they had like 3 or 4 people at their table. And Lisa and I sat at the table with them and said, oh, we introduced us. Who are you here with? Oh, Jera. Who are you here with? Jera. And we're like, how do you know Jera? YouTube. Jera just put out on a video, hey, I'm going to be in Salt Lake. We're having a regional event. If anybody's interested in coming, come on. I think it was 4 people came. I think all of them signed up.
No, she had over 10 people sign up. So I don't know if some signed up online, but yeah, I mean, it was quite, I mean, just a shout out that she was going to be in Salt Lake City. It was just amazing how many people signed up to be consultants.
And most of them signed up to be consultants, deliveries, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's just, it boggles my mind that the time we live in and the things that are available to us. So here's what I want you guys to be thinking about. So in order to come up with what you want to do a YouTube channel about, think about what you are really inspired by. Okay, number one, what am I inspired by? What am I talented at? You don't have to be super talented, but at least kind of a little bit. Like, okay, Lisa and I were talking about this the other day. Holly Hardy, she's been homeschooling her kids for years. What if you did a YouTube channel about homeschooling? Because the same people that do homeschooling, or not all of them, but a lot of those people would be interested in healthy food, long-term storage, all that kind of stuff. What about Amber? Amber knows farming, knows berries. You know, what if you did something about that and tied in Thrive? Things that you know well, that you are passionate about, and that you have somewhat of a talent. Doesn't even have to be great, because you can grow into it and get better and better at it. But that's the kind of thing. Just think about what you could do, and then what can I bring that meets a significant need in the world that people are looking for? Okay, so Lisa and I, we just read a book called Good Energy. Healthy food is so much in the media right now, and that's what our channel is going to be about, is how to eat healthy. And we're going to obviously sprinkle Thrive into that, but then talk about how you can then build up a long-term storage using that healthy food, so that if you had to depend on it, you're not going to get sick from all the ingredients and ultra processed foods that are in most of those long-term storage. And so that there's a big interest in that right now. So think about, what are people looking for? Because what you want to do, yeah, it's important on your channel to do something you're passionate about, but it has to serve an audience. And so when you think about what audience could I serve, think about, where was I 2, 3, 5 years ago? And what have I been able to overcome? Or what did I learn to get to where I am now? That's probably who your audience is. It was you 5 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever it is. Okay. So start thinking about that over the next week. And then let's see. We'll get much more into the details on this stuff, but there's a real like a formula to having a successful video. And I learned this really this year, January. I decided I'm really going to focus on growing our YouTube channel. I think in January, we were right around I think we were about 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers. And my goal was to get to 25,000 by the end of the year. And so I really put some work into learning what ingredients make a good video. And so that's what I want to talk about next week. I want to talk about giving your channel a name. Well, let's talk about that tonight, because naming your channel, coming up with your concepts, and then next week we'll talk about what are the ingredients of a successful video. Video is going to get watches and is going to get subscribers, because there is the things that YouTube is looking for. There's really 3 things. They're looking for your title and your thumbnail. So if you think about it, if you're on YouTube, and there's just all these videos that you'll see that they serve up to you based on your past viewer experience. And if you stop in a video and click on it, the reason you're clicking on it is because of the title and the thumbnail. Okay, so the better your title and thumbnail, the more likely somebody is to click on it. And then do they watch that video for at least 30 seconds? Those are the first 3 criteria that YouTube looks at when they're ranking your videos and deciding if they are going to show you more videos, your video to more people. And I'll tell you, like, for example, that video I told you that got like 30 or 35,000 views in 3 days, it was because YouTube just started serving that video up to a lot of people, showing it, suggesting it to them after they watched a video saying, hey, you might want to watch this video next. It used to be when I first started YouTube, it was all about your keywords, like, you know, freeze-dried food, Thrive, and people would search for those words and then they would find your video. Now it's all about YouTube suggesting your videos. That's where the bulk of your views come from once you have kind of establish yourself. And so we're going to talk next week about how to create a video that will have a good title, a good thumbnail, and people will watch it for at least 30 seconds. Now, obviously, we want them to watch longer than that, and that goes into it. The next thing YouTube looks at is, did they watch until the end? And then did they watch another one of your videos after that? That's another thing that gets you boosted. So there's a lot of things like that, but the first 3 are title, thumbnail, and do they watch for 30 seconds? Okay, so we'll talk about that next week. But one more thing I want to talk about, and that is naming your channel. And I don't have all the answers on this, but what I would say is keep it simple and short so people can remember it. So when they're thinking, oh, I watched that girl and I really liked her. What was her channel called? And like, it could just, I will tell you, I went through about the 50 or so people that I subscribed to on YouTube yesterday. I was showing Lisa, more than half of them, it was just their name. And a lot of times people use their first name and their middle name, or their first name and their maiden name, or their first name and a made up last name. It doesn't have to be your real name, but you know, it could be, and it could be depending on what it is you're doing. You know, it could be, you know, Holly Homeschools or you know, Amber Cans, or I don't know. So, you know, it could be something catchy. I just think it should be catchy and simple. You don't want some big, long, drawn out thing. And we haven't even come up with ours. We've thought about some healthy prepping, or healthy and prepared, or I don't know, something like that. But your name's not a bad one, or some derivative or variation of your name, or, you know, it's just something short and sweet. But honestly, that's not what's going to get the views. The views is going to be your titles and your thumbnails. So the name of your channel is important, just so people can remember it. And they might be talking to a friend and said, oh, I was watching this YouTube video, this person I really liked, their channel is called this. You want them to be able to remember it and tell people. Okay. Amber is raising her
Yeah,
hand.
real quick question.
Yeah.
Would you say that inserting how to is a good title? How to do something?
For a video? A title
Yeah, for a video.
Yes. Yes. And we'll get into all this kind of stuff, but how to do something is great. So another thing that's really good is establishing your expertise, like Real Farmer shows how to something.
Like interviewing your dad.
You know, or
Oh my gosh,
I use this all the
you said
time.
that.
I use this all the time. Professional van builder shares secret on blah, blah, blah.
Or comparing this and that.
Yeah,
That gives
something versus is
something
awesome.
versus something.
Even back when we were just doing Thrive, I did back when I was only getting 100 or 200 views on a video. I did one. It was back when we came out with our meals, our simply, I can't even remember the name. Simply Plated. What did we call our name? Simple Plate.
Simple Plate.
I did Simple Plate versus Blue Apron. And I think that video got over 1,000 views. So versus is another good one. There's lots of good ones, but how to, Amber, is a great one. But I like to sprinkle in there, adding your authority, like, you know, or it could even be somebody you're like Lisa said, your dad, somebody you're interviewing or you're talking to, or something like that. So yeah, good one. Okay. I think we hit on everything I wanted to. I know this was a lot, but I want to kind of give you guys a good overview. We'll do I think we're going to stick to this time.
I think this was a little bit later, but
I mean, I wouldn't
But-
mind doing it at like
I know,
7.
like Debbie's falling asleep here, so
Debbie, your eyes are only half open.
we probably need to do it maybe 7
How about 7?
instead of 8.
Yeah.
I think
We'll
Jen,
record them.
Jenny had Jenny had a conflict, so we were going 8.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll make it work.
Get your
it's-
priorities
it-
in order, Jenny.
Right. Okay, boss. It might depend on the night for me, like 7 might be better, 8 might be better. I don't know. We can be flexible.
Okay. All right. Well,
So it was 7:30, cut the difference.
Julie, were you going to say something?
First of all, I'd like to apologize for being late. It was on my
Don't let it
calendar,
happen
but I
again.
had it. I hope not. It was a semi-urgent. It turned into a critical phone call that delayed me. I did have a quick question. I like 7:30, by the way. You may have mentioned this. What is the difference between YouTube and a podcast?
So a normal podcast is just audio.
Okay,
Main thing with on YouTube is video podcasts, and video podcasts are
Okay.
huge. Even most traditional podcasters are now doing video podcasts. So if you're interested in being a podcaster, I actually earlier this year almost launched a podcast and just decided it would stretch me too thin. But I did quite a bit of research into it. So you can do a video podcast on YouTube, and then you can take the audio and automatically upload it to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and you can use a service that will just upload it to everything. And so if you want to do a podcast, yeah, it's an awesome thing, but I would definitely include a video podcast. Like Lisa and I follow several podcasters, and we usually watch them on TV at night. We don't listen to them just on the audio. So you want to do both, but yeah, that's the difference.
thank you. My daughter does both. And so I'll be picking on her to help me get started on
Yeah.
this. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, any other questions?
I do.
Yeah.
Like, is there a certain time length like that's a better than another, like 2 minutes, the 20-minute, like how do you know?
How long the video should be?
Yeah.
So this is what I learned when I first started, is as short as possible and as long as it needs to be. But I will say that lately, a lot of people have been testing longer format videos, and they're doing really well. So I was always trying to keep when I first started, I thought like the 8 to 10 minute mark was the ideal. And then I just found I was just rushing. I couldn't talk about everything I wanted. I've done 20 and 30-minute videos that have had more views than the ones that are 7 or 8 minutes. And I know like Jera Wilson, she'll do 30, 40-minute, hour and a half videos. So really whatever it takes. If it's a podcast, it could definitely be longer. If you're just teaching a how-to about one specific thing, maybe it's going to be shorter. So I would say there's not really a perfect answer to that. It's really anything will work. But I will say after 8 minutes, if it's less than 8 minutes, you don't have the opportunity to have ads placed in the middle of it. I believe YouTube will just put one at the beginning and the end. You go more than 8 minutes, they can put more videos, ads into it, and you'll make more money. You also tend to get more hours in views, which you get paid on as well, on longer videos, because even if you do a 20 or 30-minute video, if people only watch 15 minutes of it, you're still getting more time watched than if you just do a 5 or 7-minute video. And in order to get what's called monetized, where they start paying you, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months. And so actually the 1,000 subscribers is the easy part. The 4,000 watch hours is a little bit harder when you don't have a lot of videos on your channel. And so longer videos will get more watch time and will help you get monetized faster. So I would say do whatever feels right to you. You may or may not want to get heavy into editing. You know, there are people that have successful YouTube channels that don't edit at all. They just let it run and they upload it. And there's people like me that I'm like editing. I'm editing out every and everything where I waste 10 seconds. I'm cutting it out. I spend way more time editing than I do shooting my videos. I shoot my video usually in an hour, and it usually takes me 3 or 4 hours to edit it. But there are a lot of successful people who don't edit at all or very little, and that can work fine. So,
but start where you're at. I think we talked. Oh, go ahead, Monty.
Oh, from the last call that got us to this call, you said something, and Debbie and I dove headfirst into it. We're pretty excited about this project, and that was get some videos shot in more than one, and so you're not scrambling for that week's. So what we did is we sat down and made a list of categories we thought we would do, and then under each category came up with no less than 3 subcategories. Some of them easily wound up being 5 and 6. So we've got about 30 videos that we know we can create under
awesome.
7 or 8 different categories. So we're pretty excited about it.
That's great, Monty.
Yeah,
Great.
that's a really good thing. And one of the strategies that I want to talk about, and you can actually use AI, and you can just go on there and just say, give me 25 topics about homeschooling, you know, a 10-year-old, and it'll just spit them out. So you can come up with, and usually they're not like to the point where exactly what I would use, but it gives you a lot of ideas. But like Monty said, if you can come up with 20 to 30 concepts for videos, that's the hardest part for me, is every week coming up with a new concept. And
but you're always doing something new in advance.
Yeah,
so
but
it makes it kind of easy.
Yeah, I need props. I need all the, well, I just need a van at this stage of what I'm going to be talking about. So sometimes that's my struggle. But if you can come up with multiple topics and just know this is what I'm doing week after week after week for the next month or two, you're going to be ahead of the game. Also, and we'll get way into a lot of this kind of stuff, but I would commit 1 video a week for 1 year before you throw in the towel or give up or anything. And if you can do more than that, that's even better, because for most people, it takes about 100 videos to get kind of, 5,000-10,000 subscribers and get some influence and people, really loyal followers and so, like that. So if you think about it, if you do 1 video a week, it's going to take you a couple of years. If you do 2 a week, it's going to take you a year. I think Bill Keller does 3 or 4 a week, so but he's got a camera everywhere he goes. That's just 2. I tried to do 2 a week, and it was just too much for me. And I just backed off, and I do 1 a week. And I missed some weeks. Last week we were on vacation, and I missed a week. So it's okay if you miss here and there, but if you commit, YouTube will reward you for being consistent. And the algorithm wants at least 1 video a week in order to really start suggesting you to viewers. Because if you're really sporadic, why does YouTube want to send somebody to your channel if you're not consistently creating content? If you're just putting up a video here and there, YouTube's going to send them to somebody else who's consistent. Okay. And so it's really important for that consistency. And like I said, if you miss a week here or there, that's not going to hurt you. But if you're just randomly throwing a video up whenever you feel like it, you're not going to have the success. So that's what I would say you should commit to, at least 1 video a week for 1 year, and see what happens.
Okay, guys, I am just so excited to do this with you. I told you that on the call. I'm just excited to just blow it up. And so, who's in? Raise your hand. Okay.
All right. Give us some action steps for this week. Like we want to jump.
All right. So come up with a name. Come up with before you even do that, come up with your theme or your niche. And it should be narrow enough that it really sets you apart from all the other people out there, but broad enough that it's going to attract a pretty good audience. Something that there's a good amount of people out there looking for whatever it is you want to talk about. Okay. So So come up with your theme of your channel, come up with, and it doesn't have to be super defined. I mean, Lisa's like, well, I want to talk about this and I want to talk about this. That's fine as long as they're all related, or as long as your audience, they're the type of people that will be interested in those different things. But if it's like, I'm going to talk about,
Yeah, I told him I was going to talk about van design. He goes, "Oh no, you have to talk about that over on the van channel."
yeah, like if she wants to
Because
do one about healthy eating and
doesn't fit in.
prepping.
See, I'm like a ping pong ball, just
Yeah.
like
I got to keep this girl focused.
me. But he's like, no, 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 no. That you got to
Yeah,
keep it in the circle. He
Yeah,
said.
because you got to think about it. People subscribe to your channel, and then you do something that's completely unexpected and unrelated. They'll just like, I didn't come here. I didn't sign up for this. Why are they telling me about van design when I came here to learn about healthy food?
Yeah.
And so that is important. And YouTube, I did a video. So I study a lot of other videos, and there are a lot of videos that get a lot of views about how I make money on YouTube. So a few months ago, decided I'm going to do a video about how I make money on YouTube. It did nothing, because that's not what people come to me for. So why is YouTube suggest me, who's building vans and telling people how to build vans? Why are they going to send people to me to learn how to make money on YouTube? They didn't do it.
Oh,
I think I got
okay, Jeff.
Oh, what's that?
Okay, so you said you want us to come up with a name, our theme or niche, and you said that it needs to be narrow enough and broad enough. I'm sorry, I lost my shorthand about 50 years ago. So
right,
can you
sorry,
repeat those
Julie.
a little bit more slowly?
Thanks for
narrow enough to.
Thanks for getting me back on track.
It has to be like cohesive. So.
Yeah. So okay. When here's the thing, we all use this word. What is the word we always the algorithm. That's okay. When we talk about social media, we always talk about algorithm. What's the algorithm? I got to crack the algorithm. YouTube says the algorithm is your audience. Think about your audience. Don't think about, oh, what's the algorithm? It's like, think about what your audience wants. Okay. Right now we don't have audiences, right? But my prospective audience, the audience that I want to speak to, what do they want? And that's what my channel is going to be about, right? And like I said, it could be, it doesn't have to be, but it could be you a few years ago. What were you struggling with, and what have you overcome? What have you learned about, and what can you share that will help other people? Okay. But you don't want to make it so broad that audience that you're speaking to would be like, what? Why? That has nothing to do with everything else she talks about. Okay. So
you're creating
does that make sense?
Avatar. Like, who do you want to speak to?
Yeah.
Right. You create that avatar that you want to speak to, and that would be your audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. And so
that's our homework, our name and
that's
our
your homework.
Niche.
Your
name, your niche.
Just those two things.
Your name and your niche, and there was something else.
Okay.
Is there anything else we should do for homework? Holly likes homework. She's a homeschool mom.
I need homework. Lisa
I hate homework. That's why I didn't give you any, but
Lisa's gonna tell you us what editing. Do we need to do any sort of getting our editing stuff ready, or?
So you can. We're going to talk next week a lot more about content. But if you want to go to YouTube and set up your channel, a lot of you may already have one, and you could rename it. You can only rename it I can't remember how often, but you couldn't like give it a name and then in 2 weeks say, oh no, I want to change it. There's some period of time that has to pass before they'll let you change it. But if you haven't changed it for a while, you can go in and change it. I would come up with a name, come up with your niche, and get that all set up. And then if you want to brainstorm some topics, like 10 to 20 to 30 topics like Monty talked about that he and Debbie did, that would be an awesome head start. And then next week, we're going to talk about the recipe for a winning video. And then you'll be able to take what your ideas are about topics and then use this recipe that I'm going to give you and start laying out videos. And I do that. I don't script out videos, but I have an outline of the things I want to hit on, and I just have them on my phone, and I'll look down and go, okay, I want to hit on this, and I'll talk about that and make sure I do this. And so,
which is really hard for me because I just go off the cuff.
Yeah, she doesn't stay on my outline.
I don't stay on the outline. I'm really bad that way. So,
but there's, you can go crazy on equipment, or you can do it with your cell phone. You don't need to go out and spend a lot of money unless it's not like, I love gadgets and I love photography. And so it's kind of an excuse for me to buy a lot of stuff. And I found a lot of stuff that works really well and a lot of stuff that sits in a cupboard and I never use. So if you're interested in investing a little bit of money in equipment, I can share you what we use and what I like, because I've been through a lot.
are you gonna
But
go do a digital download for $27?
yeah, it's going to cost you $27 to get that, but they'll all be Amazon affiliate links. No. But like lighting and microphones. Now, one thing, but like I said, you can do it with your phone. If you have a phone that what you bought in the last 2 or 3 years, the cameras and audio on those are amazing. But I will say, I think the most important thing on YouTube, and definitely if you're doing a podcast, is the audio. More important than the video. I have never gotten a criticism of lighting or video quality on my videos. And I've got some bad ones because I'm going from sometimes out in the bright sunlight into a dark van and it gets all grainy and, and really bad. I've never had a complaint about it, but I've had lots of complaints about bad audio. When I first started trying to use external mics and I had them set wrong and my voice would be garbled, or I tried putting background music in and people thought it was too loud or annoying, and all kinds of criticisms of audio.
Get ready
So
for some critiques, because people love to critique your stuff.
yeah.
So
So
don't hold back.
yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, the most important thing is to get started. There's a saying, you got to just press record. And so don't let equipment or
You start where you are.
anything like that down the road, as you're making money on this. And if you want to invest in some of that other kind of stuff, then that's fine. And I can share with you what we like, but you don't need it. Your phone will be fine.
I think that would be helpful of just like how to film. Like if I'm home by myself or we're by ourselves, how do we even do that? That and the microphone, the audio, just those, so that we're not, I just
Yeah,
don't know how to do that,
Just if you have a tripod, or,
Tripods.
a lot
Okay.
of times I'm like jibbing rigging some boxes up and tilting the
Okay.
camera just a certain way, but
Yeah.
like
A tripod is really good, and a good light. We have a light in here right now. And I like to use 2 because you can see there's a bit of a shadow on this side because the light's coming from here. But even one good light that's about $100 light makes a big difference, especially if you're like in the kitchen cooking, but also if you want to do more of a video podcast, then the lighting and the background and stuff are really important. And if you want to kind of dive into things, there's my probably favorite YouTube channel about becoming a YouTube creator is called Think Media, THINK Media. Sean Cannell, he's the main guy, but there's several others that they've got a whole crew. But that's who I bought the $1,000 course that I bought a few years ago, and really learned everything that I've used to be able to grow our channel. I've learned from him. So Think Media, that's a really good one if you want to and they'll try to sell you on courses and all that stuff. And you don't need that. If you want to do it, that's fine.
the free course right here.
But you got the free course, and I'm going to share what I've learned from them and what we've learned. And I'm by no means the expert. I'm learning along the way.
We're just sharing what we've learned.
I've learned a lot, and we've had some little bit of success, and we're really excited about that. And we're excited to now take that and use it more directly with our Thrive business. It's been kind of it's been an advertising thing for us, for Thrive. Been our, but now we're excited to do one that's focused more on that. Even though it won't directly be about Thrive, but we'll definitely be talking about Thrive in pretty much every video.
So about how many classes do you want to do, or are we going to do? And then did we decide on the 7:30 time on Wednesdays?
Yeah, I think 7:30. I think that's a good time. And honestly, I go to bed about 9 or 9:30, so it's almost my bedtime right now. So 7:30 be good for me. Amber, as far as how many, I have no idea. I think we just go until we all feel like we've mastered this.
Oh, wow, that might be years.
No, but we'll do this. Maybe we
Awesome.
decide, oh, we don't need to do it every week. Maybe it's more where we get to the point where, hey, it's just on the Facebook. I mean, on the Facebook group, I want to set that up. It can be like, you know, hey, I've got this idea for a video. What do you guys think? Or, hey, I've got 2 different titles for videos. Which one do you think is better? I mean, we can bounce things like that off of people. If you are familiar at all with like a Canva or Photoshop or something, your thumbnails are super, super important. So if you have a little bit of skill in that, or one of your kids does, or your spouse or a friend, if you can find somebody, you can get on Fiverr, if you're familiar with that online, you can get people to do YouTube thumbnails for you for anywhere from $15 to $30 a thumbnail. But it's not that hard. I use a template that I just drop in a picture with it and change the title, but most of my thumbnails look the same.
I think Jara Wilson, she's on with different pictures.
Yeah.
Like Rob has taken all these different pictures of her and then they just drop them in.
Yep. So you could just take a bunch of pictures of yourself. Yeah. Look at Jara, Wicked Prepared. Her thumbnails are really good. They've kind of cracked the code on the thumbnails. Your face is the best thing for a thumbnail. It's not a picture of the food. It's not a picture of whatever, you holding some food, or you just picture like you surprised, or get a bunch of pictures of different reactions. And then you with a blank background, and then you can just take those pictures and drop in some text and use those pictures over and over for different topics. And so thumbnails are a big thing. So just start thinking about these things. We'll get into detail on all of them over the next few weeks, but these are kind of the ingredients that are going to help you grow quickly.
Yeah.
Any other question before we sign off and I go to bed? Holly.
Jeff, next week for our action steps that we're ready to make a video, what we need to do to make a video and upload it for the next class. Next week.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Your
Jump
topics, your niche, and your name of your channel.
Yep.
And then next week we'll get into how are you going to
the recipe
press
for
record
a good video. Is that what you're going to give us? A recipe
for a viral video. And it may not, your first one may not go viral, but this is the rest. You keep working on it. You keep improving a little bit each time. You're going to get one that just clicks and takes off.
It's just like your first party. Like, I was terrible. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, Jason, I don't even know what to say. I'm just going to turn the time over to you. Eat the foods. I mean, I just remember that. It was just like so awkward. And the first YouTube, I was in the van going, what are we doing? But, you know, after a while, you just like, it's not about me. It's about the message we're serving out to our audience. And once you get over that, you get kind of used to being in front of the camera, and it's easy peasy.
Yep.
Thanks, you guys. You're awesome. We appreciate you.
Hey, glad to do it. Glad we can be on this journey together. We'll all find this success together, and we'll all be doing 6-figure personal sales here in a year.
Yay.
All right. Okay.
Good to see everyone. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Lisa will send out an email with a link to a weekly meeting.
Awesome.
Okay.
You guys are awesome.
And with recording, the recording, you'll send that out too?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll send that. And please
Perfect.
invite team members. If you have anybody you think would like this, we'll put this recording up on the Facebook group. We'll create that. We'll send out a link to everybody on that. We'll put this video up there, and then we'll start. And so if other people want to join and come in next week, they'll be able to get this and then hit the ground running with the rest of us.
Love it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
See
Have a
ya.
good week.
Thank you.